what up guys, I actually have a viable range rogue build for you guys for in-game, and it works great for leveling too. I know a lot of you guys have been asking for a build that's fun, that's viable, that you can use. This is the one for you. This is my go-to. I was actually able to 1v1 the Butcher a couple times in Nightmare Dungeons with this build. It's so much fun. Unfortunately, the build is a little squishy, so we're using Dash and Dark Shroud to get in and out of situations we don't want to be in, but this build focuses on building up combo points really fast and then spinning them on heavy hitting penetrating shots. For AoE, we're using Shadow Imbuement, and then for single target, we're using Poison Imbuement. It's so good though. It melts bosses, melts big mobs. And it's just a lot of fun, which is great. That's what you want to build. So we're going to cover the legendary aspects I think are important, the skill tree, and what skills we're going to want to use for this build to make it viable, and then a little bit about the specialization and ability breakdown of when you want to use your abilities. Let's jump right into it. To go over the skills for this build, we're first going to take Puncture. We're just going to put 1 point in this, and then we're going to take Enhanced Puncture. Basically, we get energy back when Puncture damages a crowd control enemy, and then we're going to take Fundamental Puncture. This is a big part of our rotation. Puncturing out those 3 blades in a spread, it deals part of that damage as base damage. Hitting an enemy with at least 2 blades at once, though, makes them vulnerable for 2 seconds. Super important. It's why we do such good single target damage, honestly. Part of the reason why. Then we're taking Penetrating Shot. This is our main spender. This is a huge ability. We're putting all 5 points in there. We're taking Enhanced Penetrating Shot. Basically, it deals 10% increased damage per enemy it pierces, and then Advanced Penetrating Shot. When cast with full energy, Penetrating Shot will slow all enemies it hits by 50% for 3 seconds. Elite enemies will also be knocked down for a second and a half. This happens a lot. We basically always have energy because we're just spending on Puncture, and then once we have 3 combo points, we're using Penetrating Shot. I grab 1 stack of this for Sturdy if we're up close, because we can be with Puncture, but usually we're pretty distanced from that. We're going to come down here. We're going to grab Dash. I just think it's really good for mobility to get in and out of situations that you don't want to be in or want to be in. Super important there. We're only taking enemies damaged by Dash. Take 15% increased critical strike damage from you for 5 seconds. So kind of a nice little thing. Dash through a boss, dash through an enemy, do more damage to them. Also, dash those enemies it hits by 30% for 3 seconds. Any enemy already slowed will be dazed for 2 seconds instead. This is really nice just for a slow, especially since we're playing a range build for this. We're taking 3 points in Weapon Mastery. It's just a damage increase for that. I take Rugged, gain 5% damage reduction and gets damage over time effects. Just kind of nice with a lot of poison, fire, anything like that. It's really nice. And then we're taking Reactive Defense as well. We're putting 1 point into Concussive. After knocking back or knocking down an enemy, you gain 4% increased critical strike chance against them for 3 seconds. If you're surviving quite a bit, you can drop points here and pick up in Concussive. It's really good. We're taking Trick Attacks. When you critically strike a dazed enemy, they're knocked down for 0.5 seconds. So that's nice. We're coming down here. We're going to take Dark Shroud. That's our main defensive, especially since we're a little bit squishier with this build, since we do a ton of damage, especially single target damage, but we are squishier. That's why we're playing it ranged. We take Dark Shroud. I'm taking Enhanced Dark Shroud. Dark Shroud's shadows have a 10% chance to not be consumed. Then we're taking Subverting Dark Shroud. Each active shadow for Dark Shroud grants you a 4% increased movement speed. This is just really nice because not a ton of mobility. We do have with Dash, which is really nice, but if you ever want to drop Dash, maybe pick something more up for survival like Caltrops, or you could even take Smoke Grenade to play with that a little bit, or Poison Trap, you could, but it's just nice to have that movement speed. We're going to grab Exploit for sure. You deal 18% increased damage to healthy and injured enemies. This is huge, guys. A huge damage increase for that, so definitely make sure you put 3 points in that. We have Malice as well. You deal 9% increased damage to vulnerable enemies, so again, with Puncture, that's really helpful for us. Next, we're taking Shadow Imbuement. Then we're going to grab Enhanced Shadow Imbuement. Basically, you have a 15% increased critical strike chance against injured enemies affected by Shadow Imbuement. So, again, crit strike is going up. Shadow's Imbuement primary explosion makes them vulnerable for 2 seconds. So, again, we're making targets vulnerable. I do take this. Shadow damage has a 10% chance to stun for half a second. It's kind of nice to have, again, another stun that you could use. But this is where we're putting a lot of our points in now. So, we have Penetrating Shot, which is a big part of our build, and then Poison Imbuement. This is so much freaking damage. So, we're putting all 5 points in here. And then you're going to take Enhanced Imbuement. Poison's Imbuement's poisoning duration is decreased by 1 second. So it just increases that, more damage. And then we're taking Mixed Poison Imbuement. Poison Imbued skills have up to 30% chance to apply double the amount of poisoning damage over time. This is huge. So much freaking damage happening from that. Next, I take Deadly Venom. You can actually increase this if you wanted to. Again, if you're pretty tanky already, if you have some aspects for that, then do that. But I take Debilitating Toxins. Poison enemies deal 15% less damage. Just super helpful. A huge damage nerf, 15% damage nerf to everybody around you. It's probably the reason why I soloed the Butcher a couple times now with this build. It's just really good. So put 3 points in there. I also take Alchemic Advantage. You gain 1% increased attack speed for each enemy of poison up to 15%. So it's kind of nice because we're poisoning a lot with our, especially with our aspect. Precision imbuement, imbued skills gain 9% increased critical strike chance. So again, a lot of crit we're having. Down here, I think this is super important. We put 1 point in here, adrenaline rush. While moving, you gain 5% increase in energy regeneration. We're moving quite a bit still. Keep away from enemies, especially when we're playing dash. I do put 3 points in innervation, up to a 30% chance to gain 8 energy. Again, we're just keeping up the energy. Alchemist Fortune, really good. Non-physical damage you deal has a 5% increased lucky hit chance. Great. Second wind, every 100 energy you spend grants you 5% increased lucky hit chance for 5 seconds. So, really nice. And then to top off this build, we're using Precision. Critical strikes with marksman skills grant you precision. You gain 4% increased critical strike damage per stack of precision, up to a maximum of 20%. When you reach maximum precision, your next marksman skill is guaranteed critical strike that deals 40% increased critical strike damage that consumes all stacks of precision. Guys, we're doing so much damage with this build. I'm telling you, it's absolutely nuts. Specifically, when you're 1v1 in targets like the Butcher, end of dungeon bosses, anything like that, world bosses, you are cranking. You kill them in just a few seconds. It's awesome. For legendary aspects, you're going to want for this build to make it as effective as mine is. We're going to take rapid aspect. Basic skills gain 15% attack speed. It's just really good for puncture, but also if you wanted to switch over to forceful arrow, if you need a little bit more range or defensive, this is just great to have, especially since we're using like usually 3 punctures and then a penetrating shot. Awesome aspect to have. Aspect of the expected, this is a huge damage increase. Attacking enemies with a basic skill increases the damage of your next core skill by cast by 5% up to 30%. Just really nice. And then we are going to want trick shot aspect. This aspect is the main part of our build. This is essential for this. So I give this like right off the bat if you're leveling. Whenever penetrating shot damages an enemy, 2 additional arrows split off to either side. These side arrows deal 10% of penetrating shots, base damage, and do not split. This is really nice though, because if we're, have poison imbuement and we're sending that off, we poison a bunch of different enemies. Same with shadow imbuement. Definitely need this. And then 2 defensive aspects I would highly recommend getting is Aspect of Disobedience. You gain 0.25% increased armor for 4 seconds when you deal any form of damage, stacking up to 25%. This is just a lot more armor. Armor makes us way more tanky. And then Aspect of the Might. Okay, this is really essential too. Basic skills grant 20% damage reduction for 2 seconds. That's great. We're a little squishy with this build. We're trying to stay farther away from our enemies, like mid-range to long-ranged. So having these 2 aspects when we get up close or dealing with certain elites is just really nice to have. As for specialization, we are using combo points. This is huge for us. Your basic skills now generate combo points. Core skills consume combo points for additional effects. So we're just doing more damage. As you can see down here, these are combo points. Even tells you what they are, but you can see them build up as you spend your main basic skill. You'll get up in combo points. So we're usually using puncture and like 3 punctures to build up combo points, and then a penetrating shot. So just keep an eye out for that. For rotation, like I said, you're using puncture. You're using that 3 times to build up 3 combo points. Then you're using penetrating shot, usually with some kind of imbuement, almost every time if you can. For AoE, I would try to use shadow imbuement to start us off. Use both your shadow imbuments. So you get two penetrating shots off of this, or a dash if you wanted to use one of those. So you could use shadow imbuement first, 3 punctures, and then you would use a penetrating shot. Again, you build up again to puncture, build those combo points. Then you'd use penetrating shot, and vice versa. And then you could also do the same thing for poison imbuement. So AoE, I would do shadow imbuement, and then for single target, I'd prioritize poison imbuement and then use shadow imbuement. Just really good to have. Use dash to get in and out if need be. And always have Dark Shroud up. It's just super important. It'll help you keep you alive, like basically all the time, and don't be afraid to use your evade. But that's basically it for the build. Keep your distance. It's more of a mid-range build, but it's fantastic if done right. And then, yeah, kind of like I said, though, if you wanted to switch to more of a defensive side of this, if you didn't like this build or puncture was too close for you, you do lose some damage, I think, but you could take forceful arrow for this. It's more of a sniper build for this, and it's really good in single target, but it knocks down. I would take forceful arrow, enhanced forceful arrow, and fundamental forceful arrow. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I really hope you enjoy this range rogue build. If you do happen to try it, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I really want to know. And hit that like and subscribe button. We got WoW content coming out, Diablo 4 content coming on the channel all the time. I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.